Men are naturally in the leadership position, which actually means as men, we carry a great responsibility, a responsibility that women don't have. Now, this doesn't mean that women are less than men. Obviously, we can just see that women have responsibilities that men don't have. But actually, men carry a responsibility of more of a spiritual nature. It's more subtle, and we've generally lost touch with this responsibility as men in this modern culture. This is largely due to the misuse of our S3X energy and being overtaken by lust. When a man misuses his S3X drive and motivation, it creates a ripple effect in society. It directly affects women, which then directly affects children. It affects the community and the structure as a whole. That's what we're living through right now. The purpose of this channel and the mission of the Nakula Dodge training grounds is to rebalance that energy within men so that men can use their S3X energy in its proper way, and we can rebalance the structure of society. Let me explain. Hi, my name is Nakula Das, and I help men master their S3X energy and unleash your God-given right as conscious masculine leaders. Take the free transmutation guide. The link is in the description below. And by the end of this video, if you're like, man, I think I'd like to work with this guy in a closer way, then book some time with me on my calendar. I'd love to connect and see if one of our training programs is a good fit for you. As men, we have a natural drive to provide, to protect, to produce. We're workers by nature. Now, some of us work with our hands, some of us work with our minds, some of us work with our talents. The way that you work is irrelevant to the principle that you get up and you get to work. In this modern culture where we're taught that men and women are the same, equal, yes, but not the same. 2 + 2 = 4. Men or masculine plus feminine, men plus women are equal. But we are different. So we can acknowledge that we have differences, but the value is the same. This idea that men are better than women or women are better than men is nonsense. You need both for creation, for procreation, and for regeneration and healing. That means within us as men, it's also getting in touch with both our masculine and our feminine sides. And that's also true for women. When we are in our natural position of providing, protecting, and producing, we feel good about ourselves. We feel valued. We feel that we are doing our job. Nature rewards us with an internal feeling, like a pat on the back of, yes, I'm getting up every day, I'm getting to work, and I'm doing my duty, which is our first responsibility as men. As men, we should not be pleasure seekers. Pleasure is part of life, but allow pleasures to come to you in its natural form or in a natural way. We are men of honor, duty, responsibility. That is what it means to be a man. At a higher level, we are providers, protectors, and producers, not just on a material level, but of abundance. Yes, abundance of finances and money. So getting good at finances, getting good at making money. That's why in my trainings, I have whole sections on developing your business or how to start a side hustle, how to develop your bank account. But you also are a provider of emotional support, mental calmness and clarity, and spiritual growth. When a man misuses his S3X energy, all of those things are taken away. He can't be a strong emotional support while his woman goes through her ups and downs. He can't provide strong mental clarity and direction. He can't know what is good and what is bad, what is right or what is wrong. He's clouded, like a veil is over his consciousness in which he can't himself get grounded. In our alchemist portion of our training, we teach grounding techniques and meditations so that you're anchored into your masculine energy so that you can provide these things at a higher level. This is the difference between a regular man or, the majority of men and a conscious leader, a conscious man. The difference is the conscious man is in tune with his subtle energy. He's not just in tune with the physical needs, but he's also in tune with the emotional needs, the energetic needs, the spiritual needs of those around him. And he is a source of that. He provides, he protects, and he produces spiritual upliftment. And when you provide and protect and produce spiritual upliftment, whole communities and religions have been formed around men who've been able to do that because it's so valuable. And it's naturally what people gravitate towards because it is our natural seeking within the soul. The soul wants to expand. It wants to grow consciously. It wants to become everything it's meant to become. And it's your duty as a conscious man to be able to provide that. The regular man, he may be a hard worker. He may work lots of hours and put in, tough labor. He may even make good money. But where he generally lacks is the ability to provide a spiritually alive household, a spiritually alive business in which other people can grow with him. A regular man generally doesn't grow at the intellectual level or spiritual level or emotional level. Statistically, we know that men generally stop growing at those levels by the age of 25, meaning whoever they were at 25, by the time they're 65, they're generally around the same maturity level. That is a flaw within our current modern culture, but can be easily course corrected through spiritual practice and understanding. Through the practice of transmutation, which starts with nofap and semen retention, but doesn't end there, a man becomes conscious of his subtle energies. This is what I teach my students to do in the alchemist portion of our trainings. We turn our lust, which is a power. It's a form of motivation. Lust isn't bad. I don't want to call it bad. It's just a low form. It's no different than an animal. An animal has lust. Lust is a motivation and power that when alchemized or transmuted into its higher forms, think about water being heated up and turned into a gas. It's the same substance, but it's in its higher form. That's what transmutation or alchemy does. It takes your lust and it transforms it into its spiritual or higher form, which is ultimately love. A conscious leader is acting from a space of love. A leader, as we generally see the politicians and the so-called leaders of today, they're acting from a place of lust. This has caused this lust for power, for money, for fame, and to dominate other people. This has caused so much bloodshed and wars in the world. This has caused the breakdown of the family structure and core. This has caused divorce. It's caused women to lash back at men as well. It has caused division in our family. But as men, we can course correct it, and we need to be the change. We need to do it in our own lives. As a conscious leader, he sees himself not as the dominant force. That's not what it means to be a leader, but he sees himself as the servant of those around him, serving them and lifting them up by providing for them, protecting them, and producing, yes, materially, but also emotionally and spiritually. In the book of Mark, Jesus says, "He who comes first comes last and is servant of all." The Buddha spoke about service as a natural path to compassion and empathy. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the highest form of yoga is called bhakti, which means selfless service to God or selfless service to the Supreme, which naturally translates into selfless service to the community and world around you. Now imagine a life in which you're providing, protecting, and producing at all levels. How fulfilled would you be? What could you create if you could create other leaders around you? The number one job of a leader is to create other leaders. And when we create a culture of conscious leadership, we essentially create an environment where growth, prosperity, health, relationships can all work in a harmonious way. Semen retention is part of that process because semen retention makes you self-controlled and disciplined. It makes you focused, and it makes you more loving. And it doesn't mean that you don't ever have S3X again, but even your S3X is better because it comes from a higher consciousness. And as you grow in consciousness, finances, health, relationships, all become restored and grow. Go take the free transmutation guide. The link is in the description below. Make sure you book a call with me if you want to become a conscious leader and learn to transmute your energy and develop in your communication skills, your wealth building skills, and unleash all your God-given talents. I can help you do it. I'll see you on the next video.